Hi everyone. So the purpose of this video is just so that we can go over how to make your home safe and the different ways we go about that in home security. Okay? So I like to start things off on a positive note. And so this is a quote that I truly believe is a great quote by Zig Ziglar. It says, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. And I truly believe that every decision that we make, everything that we do, often comes together in the end to form something beautiful, right? So that's just our positive quote to start our presentation off with. So if you wait until the end, you'll notice that we have a surprise that we're gonna have for the participants who stay over until the end of the presentation. Okay, so to start by introducing myself, my name is Capricia. I am one of the managers for Masterco. Masterco is a home services company. And so we're located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We offer a ton of different services in Baton Rouge, and you can also just look over at our website. I have the page of the website there listed. You may also be watching this video from our website. We are local. We do a lot of local services for the Baton Rouge area. And when it comes to things like home security, we cover the whole Louisiana. So, whatever parish or city you're in, you would also qualify to work with us when it comes to things like home security. We are a family owned company. And so the family owns, operates the company. So Masterco is one of those companies where in everything we do, we truly care, right? So that's another reason why I'm putting this presentation together so that for homeowners who want to make informed decisions when it comes to home security, you're making an informed decision. So you know exactly what you're getting. There's a difference between making a decision and an informed decision. So this is to just kind of give you that information that you need to make informed decisions. Okay? So, Safe Home Security is one of our monitoring stations that we use for home security. We really like using Safe Home because Safe Home doesn't lock their equipment. And what that means is that when your agreement is up, you own all of your equipment, which I can't say for every security company, because they tend to have their own different policies, right? But a lot of security companies will keep the equipment locked out versus with Safe Home, you'll own the equipment at the end of your agreement. And of course, we all want to own our things, right? So Safe Home Security is the sixth largest home security company in the nation. So S- Safe Home itself doesn't just cover Louisiana, but we, as Masterco, partnered with Safe Home, we cover Louisiana. Okay, so I want to know, has this ever happened to you, right? You're home after a long day's work, you're tired, you're just resting, and you're finally getting to spend time with the family, and you get a knock at the door, or maybe your doorbell rings, right? And you just kind of sluggishly walk to the door because you're tired and you really don't feel like entertaining guests. Well, you finally get to the door and the person's gone, and you're wondering, well, who was that? And it worries you, right? You start to think, who is that? Who is that? And you're wondering who it was, and you don't know, right? It could have been someone important. It could have been a family member, and you just don't know because you aren't able to see what's going on outside of your house. So we do have different solutions for that. I just want to make sure that you understand that, this is something that's important. It is something that is beneficial to have, right? Even in your everyday life. It's not always about When it comes to home security, it's not always about burglaries. It's not always about what if the bad guy comes, right? So we go about building your home security package using three criteria. We do control, protect, and automate. And so I'll explain to you what all of those things means as we move forward in the presentation. So to control, we use the IQ4 panel. Typically for most packages, we'll use the IQ4 as the panel. With this panel, it also goes hand in hand with the monitoring station. And so what that means is that when there's an invasion or when something happens and the alarm is triggered, this through this panel, which has a cell phone chip in it, it will call the monitoring station. When the monitoring station is called, then the monitoring station will then call the homeowner and their two emergency contacts. Afterwards, it'll call the nearest police officer on patrol, or if there's a fire, they're going to alert the fire department. So first responders will be notified if something happens, and that all comes through the panel, right? The panel is one of the most, if not the most important thing because it's the thing that the monitoring comes through. This panel works on cell phone towers, so it's not something that you have to have Wi-Fi to have in the home. So when it comes to protection, we have different um, options or things that we might use to build your package, right? We have a motion detector. And the way a motion detector works is that if someone is in your home that's not supposed to be there and you act so assuming you activate your system before you leave the home and no one's at the house, right? If someone moves in the front of the motion detector, it will set off the alarm system. It kind of works as a trap. See, a lot of people don't know what this is or how it works. This right here is a motion detector. A lot of people don't know what it is or how it works. That's how it works. It's essentially a trap to trap someone who may be there. The moment they move in front of this motion detector, it sets off that alarm. Okay, and here we have the door window sensors. So here on the sensor, this part goes on the door, this other part may go on the door frame. When these two pieces are separated, it chimes. It'll make a ding, front door open, ding, back door open. However, if the system is activated that no one should be home, of course the door should not be open. If the door opens, then it'll also trigger the alarm. So these things work in a certain way to where we're trying to make sure that everything is safe for you. With the smoke detector, we use smart smoke detectors versus regular smoke detectors that you would get in a home, in the store. So with a smart smoke detector, it has monitoring. That basically means that when a or when a smoke emergency or fire emergency happens, um, this smoke detector well, through the smoke detector through the panel will contact the fire department, and they're going to be notified that there is an emergency happening at the location. And we will go into smoke detectors a little bit more. I have a video that I'd like you guys to watch that really explains smoke detectors in a little more detail. And with the glass break, this is a glass break. With the glass break detects glass break frequencies. So if someone shatters a window, God forbid, it picks up on that frequency, that sound of the glass breaking. So it'll also alert the system. And when I say alert, not only does the call center get alerted, you as the homeowner will get these alerts to your phone. When something happens, you get these alerts to your phone, and also the call center is going to call you. So it's good that you're going to have someone to talk to you through this process. So even if you're not home and you're visiting someone and something happens at the home, let's say a lot of times during holidays we travel, right? We're not home. If something happens, you're called. You know that something's happening at your home while it's happening. You're not waiting until afterwards to find out. You're not waiting on the mailman to come and say, "Hey, something happened at your home." All right, so we have another slide for smoke detectors. This just kind of talks about standard smoke detectors versus smart smoke detectors. Whereas a standard smoke detector, if something happens, it's just gonna beep. It's not gonna call anyone. It's not gonna call you. Um, and you just have to hope that you can get out of that smoke in time, because unless someone else sees that something is happening or you're able to alert someone, then it's likely that no one's going to come, so you have to figure out how to get out of the home safely. However, with a smart smoke detector, even if you're not home, you're notified. And if you are home, God forbid, you have the fire department who's going to be coming to help you out in the situation. Okay, so I have a video I'd like you guys to watch, and this video is going to talk a little bit more about smoke detectors. I would recommend that you kind of prepare yourself because it is a little hard to watch.
The fire was detected 3 hours or so after it had started by a newspaper carrier who happened to be going past the house. Had their monitoring been in place, probably none of this would have happened or would have been at an absolute minimum. Mom and Dad had discussed a fire escape route for themselves, but they'd never practiced it. They're in the dark, they've got smoke detectors making noise, there's no power, and they're probably disoriented. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. They don't quite know what's going on, and they've got choices. They can try to go out this window that they've never tried before, or they can try to go out down the hallway and see what that avails them. Unfortunately, opening the door was what took my mother's life. On the other side of that door was a wall of 1500-degree air, completely saturated with soot, smoke, carbon monoxide, all the nasty stuff that nobody could survive. And here's the end result of all that. After the first responders were notified by the newspaper carrier, they're right up the street. They were here in, I think, probably less than a minute. The difference between with and without monitoring, 3 hours. They only take a moment to get here, but they have to first be notified. If people had been able to respond when this first happened, Mom and Dad would still be together today. Instead, Mom's gone. And when I look at this, the dollar amount necessary to have had the monitoring in place versus the loss that we see around us and the loss that we feel in our hearts and in our lives, Mom's not here anymore. How do you put a price tag on that? How do you put a value on that? There's smoke detectors that went off here and then they overheated and melted and died. Had they been monitored, I think my mom would be here to talk about this. And if we can help somebody else avoid what we're feeling and what we're dealing with right now, then we've gotten our job done. We've gotten the message out there the way people need to hear about it. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so my heart really goes out to him. It seems his family lost everything in that fire. Luckily the father was able to make it out, but the mother wasn't as fortunate. Um, and in this case, they didn't have the monitor system. They didn't have the monitored smoke detector, and it really could make that type of a difference, right? Some of us have insurance policies, and an insurance policy only pays you after something happens. Whereas with things like monitoring, the reason why it's so important is that this could have prevented that, at least it's possible that it could have prevented it, you know. Um, what he explained was that his mom was his mom and his dad were both in the home when the fire emergency started, and the mother and the father didn't know how to get out of the house. They had a safety route, but when she opened up that door, the fire pushed out from the door, and it just wasn't it didn't end well. But these are things we try to prevent, right? We don't want these type of things to happen. So this is why I really push so hard for things like monitor smoke detectors. Okay. Another thing we offer is the medical alert pendant. Okay, so if you have anyone in the home who's elderly or disabled, the medical alert pendant can be extremely important, right? A lot of falls happen when someone is in the restroom, taking a shower. A ton of falls happen while they're taking a shower. This is waterproof. So essentially, if they push down on that button for 5 seconds, this button will alert emergency responders. And now I do have another video. It's a pretty short video, and it's just of this woman who talks about having a medical pendant.
You know, I'm pretty independent, and I don't mind living alone. But last year, I rolled my ankle, and then it wasn't so great being alone. Well, my children are never very far away, but it's the day to day things that worry both of us. And that's why I have this. It's the medical pendant. I can use it in the house, I can use it out here in the yard, and it's just nice to know that if anything happens, all I have to do is push this for help. It makes sense to my kids, and it makes sense to me too.
Okay, so the medical fall pendant has helped so many. Um, And it's something that's very necessary if you are in that type of situation or have someone in the home who's elderly or disabled. We can also build packages for you that will have that medical alert pendant there. All right, and next, we have our cameras, right? We have different types of cameras. We at Mastercode prefer using cameras that are solar powered. All of our cameras have two-way, meaning that you can speak to the person through the camera and they can speak back to you. As you can see, this camera has a solar panel and so does this one. These are the two main cameras we use. Um, if we ever build a package with a two-cam kit, we tend to put solar panels on it just so that you don't have to charge the camera and you don't have to worry about anyone going into your roof to wire them. These are wireless cameras and all of our cameras have an app where you can see everything from the app. And also we have, of course, the smart doorbell where you can see everything that happens from that doorbell. So here's a short video of the Eufy 360 camera.
Eufy recently released the Solocam S340, a battery and solar powered outdoor Wi Fi security camera that has spotlights and also has motion tracking. Plus, it has two lenses, a wide one and also a zoomed in one, which records in 3K quality and is pretty good in daytime, also at night with the spotlights on, and also in infrared night vision. And with the included 2.2-watt solar panel, it can minimize or even eliminate the need to recharge its batteries. This is a good option if you have a wider area that you want to monitor.
Okay, so that's all about the 360 camera, and that was that camera I was pointing to earlier with the solar panel on the top of it.
Eufy recently
Okay, so I may have some questions like, is a home security system even necessary? If you ask me, I'm gonna say 100%. All of these different features that come with home security are features that are is specifically designed to secure your home and protect your loved ones. If you already have cameras, my next question would be to you, do you have monitoring? Because it's okay to have cameras, But monitoring means that there's a whole call center behind you. If anything happens, they're alerting the authorities. And are security systems expensive? They can be. If I'm being honest, they can be. But it's not with us. See, the normal cost of a home security system, if you wanted to buy everything outward, could look something like this. By the time you build a package, and this is literally a pretty simple package. If you built a package like this, it could look like thousands, right? But with our offer, we're covering the equipment costs, right? So when it comes to upfront payment, you're not paying for the panel. You're not paying for the sensors, the smoke detector, the 360 solar camera, or even the installation. The installation is also free. All that we ask is that you pay your monitoring rate of $79 a month. $79 a month. We build you a package that works for you. We do have to stay within a certain budget, but anything outside of that, we can make a customized package outside of that for you. But when it comes to free equipment, 79 a month. And since you stayed toward the till the end, this is that special offer we were talking about. So it's 79 a month. And what we're going to do is that since you watched this presentation, you stayed to the end, um, we're doing $5 a month for the first 3 months. What that basically means is that yes, you pay the $79 on installation, but thereafter you pay $5 a month for the following month and the following month after that and the following month after that. So that is 3 months of $5 a month. And with home security referrals, if you're able to give us at least 3 referrals that are homeowners, we can also offer another 3 months off of the $5 a month, meaning you would get 6 months of $5 a month for that first 6 months of your agreement. You can't beat that. 6 months out of 12 months for the first year, you're paying $5 a month. So it's literally only $30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, 30. That's literally only $30 for the first few months of having your entire system. Like the guy said in the video, can you even put a price on things like your security or the things that you could lose if you didn't have monitored security? And if you could put a price on it, it would be worth at least $79, right? If you could put a price on it, it would be at least worth $5. At least. And we're not even talking about at most. So when we're talking about investment, this is how much it costs. So I want to thank you so much for taking out the time to watch this, for spending this time with me, for learning about the different products and the different equipment, for, just spending that time, just taking the time out to learn. And I know that we're all very busy. So the time of taking out this 25 to 30 minutes of listening to what I have to say and, really considering how to improve the safety of your home. When you're ready to give us a call, you can reach us at 225-289-3228. You may also go to our website and fill out the contact us form. And when you do, it'll come to our email. We'll reach out to you as soon as we receive it. And that's normally within less than 2 hours, honestly. Okay. So thank you so much. You have a great day and thank you for joining.